Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ridwanullah family. Welcome back to another episode of Ridwanullah TV's Monthly Goals Report. I'm your host and life maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, working to help you completely maximize your life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily, all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, owner, and sustainer, the one who's worthy of all worship and praise without any associates or intermediaries. And may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the most esteemed leader and most honorable teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. I'm trying to keep up the normal pace of talking. Sometimes I feel like I'm being robotic when I'm listening to myself through the content that I create. But alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I've been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. And this monthly goals report is going to be on Shawwal. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. It's been an amazing month. A lot of challenges, but a lot of success with the same token. Unfortunately, usually I like to play the Quran right after at this particular moment. But unfortunately, my phone is dead at this moment. And I'm using my charger for my external hard drive at this point. So I cannot utilize my phone to be able to recite the Quran. And I was thinking maybe it's better to just, do it next time. But then I thought, at the very least, I could read a simple surah to remind us. And, this is, one of the surahs that I like to recite a lot. It's short and sweet. It's surah. It's a short and sweet surah. So I might be putting myself in trouble here, but bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, I hope I can recite it properly. And then we'll kind of go from there. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts that from me, and I hope I recited it properly. I definitely have to work on my Quran, my tajweed, and fiqh, which is the understanding of it. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase that in me as well as you. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And it's been a little while since I actually did the content. So I'm just trying to remember the bits and pieces, all the strategies that I utilize to be able to do this. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But before I continue, I want to let you guys know, for the Ridwanullah family that are watching, they already know what this is about. They already know why we do this. They already know how we go about it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But for anybody who's new or anybody who needs a reminder, I just want to be able to tell you what this is about, why I do it, and how we do it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So this is the Ridwanullah TV's monthly goals report, where every single month following the Hijri calendar, I report to you, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, what in each area of my life, what my goals are, where I'm at with it, and what is left for the most part. And And obviously, I have my personal reasons for setting those goals, and you can kind of figure it out on yourself, or possibly, these are the same goals that we share, and you can actually, know your own reasons why you want these goals. So, it's a monthly goals report, so that's essentially what it is. And the reason why I do it is many reasons, and just to kind of list a few of the reasons. Number one is to reach my own potential. Right, I want to be able to make sure that I achieve every single one of my goals, happily achieve every single one of my goals in this life and in the hereafter, by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make sure that I'm pushing my boundaries, my limits, my limiting beliefs, and making sure that I'm being the best that I could be, I'm doing the best that I could do, creating the best that I can create, giving the best that I could give, and also receiving the best that I can. And the second reason is for accountability, right? In order for me to achieve my goals and dreams, I need the accountability not only of and from myself, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from other people, the Ridwanullah family. I'm pretty sure certain individuals ask me, what about this goal? What about that goal? How come you haven't achieved? And, every month if I'm coming up and I'm saying I haven't achieved it, it's a form of accountability, public accountability. So accountability is extremely important. The other reason why I do it is to, inspire and motivate you to reach your full potential, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, through happily achieving all of your goals in life, in this dunya and in the akhirah, by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope that you don't think that this is only me or somebody else or anybody else is the one who is able to do these types of things by, setting and achieving their goals and dreams. Stop being on the sidelines. I want to inspire and motivate you to get into the game of life, get into the game of goals achievement, and, set and achieve your own goals to the best of your ability, and do the things that you need and want to do to be able to take your life to that next level, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Obviously sadaqatul jariyah, right? I want to be able to, have ongoing charities, which is to disseminate or facilitate knowledge. So hopefully you're gaining knowledge as I continue to, put out these contents and improve myself, and personally and professionally, to, and somehow, some way, by you watching these videos that are up 24/7, through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something that I say will strike you, something that I do will strike you, to give you the insights and the breakthroughs and the tools, the strategies and techniques that you need to be able to get to that next level, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be rewarding me, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, while I'm alive, and more importantly, after I pass away as well. So that's another reason why I do it. Obviously, personal and professional gain, me being able to let you know what I'm up to with my business, my investments, and other areas of my life. You will be able to see what I'm up to, and I'll be able to help you with your needs and wants, and in return you help me with my needs and wants. So that's another reason why I do it, to be fully transparent with you guys. The last but not least, obviously with sadaqatul jari is all about leaving a legacy and everything else. But the last but not least, and the most important reason why I do this, is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously you guys can see this is what I'm building my whole brand on, which is Ridwanullah, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of the day, everything that I do, I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it. And it's a tough reality for me, because every single day I question my intention and sincerity, and I'm questioning my motives. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering why I'm doing these businesses. I'm wondering why I'm doing these investments. I'm wondering why I'm creating content. Why I'm doing certain things that I'm doing in the other areas of my life. And I hope that it's not, to seek money, to seek fame, to seek any of these things. And I hope that it's purely for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the most important reason why I'm doing it. And it's a tricky balance, you know what I mean? So those are the reasons. So just to kind of summarize and review for myself and you, the first reason is to reach my potential. The second reason is for accountability. The third reason is to inspire and motivate you guys. The fourth reason is sadaqatul jariyah. And the fifth reason is Ridwanullah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So those are the 5 reasons why I do my monthly goals report and every other thing that I do through my business and everything else, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, that's pretty much it. And then we're just gonna go through the process bi'idhnillahi ta'ala of sharing with you any announcements and updates, and then we'll dive into the goals bi'idhnillahi ta'ala and take it step by step. You guys will be able to see a lot of changes, a lot of strategic shifts, a lot of adjustments and adaptation that are so painful. I feel like I'm all over the place sometimes, and I feel like I have everything figured out and together at times. But in any case, I feel like this is the journey that we're all on. We really have to own our own goals, own our own destiny to the best of our abilities by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Announcements and updates. Actually, before I get into the announcement and updates, I just want to give you an overall overview, review of my month Shawwal, and then before we get into the details. So out of 100%, honestly, I feel like my Shawwal month was about 70%. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The 70% that I did was, alhamdulillah, I came back from Umrah successfully after traveling to various parts of the world. It was just an amazing reality that I've seen in the transitions that I've made through New York and Egypt, Medina, Mecca, Jeddah. It was just an amazing thing that I've been planning and preparing for a very long time, not knowing that if I could spend the last 10 days of Ramadan doing my first Umrah, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So that was, a beautiful opportunity for me to be able to do. I came back, was very sick, couldn't really get through my get to my routine, and sadly I still am not back to my full routine after almost a month for various reasons. Just been going through a lot, but alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. My sister was getting married. Congratulations, sis. I love you. I hope that your marriage gives you abundant of bliss in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I was able to travel to the Seattle, Washington area last weekend, and that was beautiful. I went with my whole family. It was an amazing opportunity to be able to do that. Getting back into the swing of things, recording things, doing a lot of other, achieving other goals financially, work-wise, deen and self-wise, family and relatives, and world. And so overall, I've accomplished a lot of things. So that's why I'm giving myself the 70%. So alhamdulillah. The 30% I've been struggling with, sadly, with my salah. So I'm working on getting back into the routine, and I don't want to blame my health and fitness on it, but I really have to step up my salah. That's the biggest concern for me, and that's the biggest concern for me. So I'm working on getting back into my habits, and honestly, to be quite fair to me, I'm not used to traveling overseas in different countries and cities, especially by myself. It's been non-stop traveling recently. I'm very grateful for it, but that threw me off my routine a lot. So I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, in the future. So I'm kind of figuring out how to not let that throw me off my routine. especially with my salah and all the other ones are not that big of a deal, but the one that is devastating to me is my salah. So I'm trying to get back into making sure that I'm punctual with my salah and everything else. So my health and fitness, as I mentioned, needs a lot of improvement, and alhamdulillah, trying to drink a lot of water, improving on that. So getting into my routine, taking my business seriously, taking my investments seriously, my work, and all the other areas of my life, especially my deen, very, very seriously. So that's what I'm working on, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So that's the general overview of my Shawwal month. I hope that your month has gone amazingly well. And then before I get into the details, I just want to go through some announcements and updates. And then we'll kind of go through the details and go through the summaries and conclusions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I'll share with you some of the most important lessons that I've learned in the past month, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope that you guys can stick throughout, from the beginning throughout and all the way to the end, so you guys can see the most important lesson that I've learned during this month, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's a little catch for you guys to kind of stay through. I hope that you guys can see honestly how valuable this is. It's extremely valuable for me. As I'm building my online business and everything else, it's not easy. I will lie, especially to be able to build a genuine business, a real business, not a gimmicky fake business. It's not an easy process. I'm telling you honestly. But alhamdulillah, some exciting news, exciting things to talk about. So announcements and updates. Any announcements? Honestly, I don't have a lot of announcements. But I might have a couple of updates. Announcements. One thing I'm thinking about is the Ridwanullah University that I've been thinking about, that I've been planning and preparing for. I don't actually have a particular starting point. I've been thinking about so many things, and there's so many things in between. So I'm not sure when that'll start. So that's the announcement. Well, maybe that's more of an update. I don't know. I'll just kind of mix the announcements and updates together. So that's one of them. Maybe it's in the next couple of months. Maybe it's more than that. Hopefully sooner or later. Honestly, I think it's more about having my website up, having my membership site up, and having that routine, that schedule, and making sure everything is working properly, making sure that people can sign up for the Ridwanullah University or the Ridwanullah program. And I'm thinking about changing the name and everything else. So that is still in the works. One thing that I will announce right now is I'm thinking about creating an online course called the Paycheck to Paycheck course. And the objective of that course is to help people get out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. And the reason why that is in the works is because I feel like there's so many goals that I can help you guys achieve, but one of the most important ones for me is getting out of this paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, this rat race. And I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of work behind the scenes to be able to figure it out. And I think it's very, very important for me to get out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle first before I share that with you. But at the very least, it's out there that the paycheck to paycheck course will be coming out in sometime in the near future. I don't know, again, next couple of months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, maybe a year. However long it takes me, I hope that you guys can stick with me and support me in my business throughout this journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But that's a program that I'm truly and genuinely excited about. So that's another announcement that I wanted to share with you guys, an update. I probably mentioned this already. I've been traveling a lot, which has been a part of my passion. Went to Umrah for the last 10 days of Ramadan. Transitioned to New York, Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. Then landed in Medina for a day and a half or so. Went to Mecca for a lot of the days and went to Jeddah. came back. I wanted to go to Taif, but I wasn't able to. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, next time I go there, that's my plan. Then I came back here. I went on my third quarter retreat to Echo in Colesville, somewhere in Utah, roughly about an hour or so from Salt Lake City. After I came back from my retreat, I went to my sister's wedding. Kind of moved through Portland. We were hoping that we would stop in Portland, but just drove through it. Went to Kent, Washington. I don't even think I actually made it to Seattle. I only say Seattle because it's in the same area. Most people don't even know where Kent is unless you actually live in that area. But a lot of people generally know where Seattle is, so that's what I like to just say, it's Seattle. So then I came back, got back into my workflow. Actually, this is the first week that I got back. So, alhamdulillah, glory of God. But through the glory of God, I was able to do a lot of these amazing travels, and hopefully I could do more travels through my online business. As I continue to build my online business, and I'm in the foundation and framework phase, and hopefully once everything starts rolling, I can do the best that I can to earn a halal living online. As crazy as that may sound to me and everybody else, it's real. It's beyond real. It's more than real. I'm trying to convince myself and then you, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But it's very, very important to do that. So those are the general announcements and updates. I think this was what I was missing. Sponsorships, announcements and updates. So sponsors are mainly, advertisers or general sponsors that are supporting the Ridwanullah TV show and other Ridwanullah TV elements. The default sponsor as of right now is still Ridwanullah Organization, which is an Islamic personal professional development business, an organization that is designed to help you completely maximize your life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through so many things that you guys will see coming up. So your love and support for our default sponsor will be amazing. If you want to advertise through the Ridwanullah TV and all the other elements that we have on this show, please send your budget and request detail to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. Once again, that is ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. If you are aligned with what we're trying to do and you're not outside of the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll be more than happy to help you promote your work, your products, your services, and everything else that you're doing. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, as a way to support this channel, to support this business, and everything else that we're doing here, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So your love and support for that will be greatly appreciated. I might have a program coming up in Salt Lake City for the most likely for the youth is what I'm particularly. The program will be primarily focused on, but I believe it's open to the public as well, but primarily for the youth. Here in Salt Lake City, Utah, maybe in the next couple of weeks, months, we're in the early stages of figuring that out. I'm not sure if it'll actually go through if it'll go through, but if it does, falillah alhamd, I'll share that announcement and update with you guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So obviously the last thing of the announcements, the sponsorships, announcements, and updates that I want to share with you guys is that I'm working on becoming a professional speaker, as I already am, in the process of getting there, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And I would love to speak at your events, your conferences, your programs, your seminars, your whatever you have going on. If you would love to have a professional speaker, an aspiring professional speaker at that as well. I've been in the game for over 10 years, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I would love to speak at your event. If you would love for me to speak at your event, send your budget and request budget and details to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com, and hopefully, we can reach an agreement to be able to be there, whether it's in Salt Lake City, in and around Salt Lake City, Utah, where I reside, or around the country or the world, wherever you may be, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'll be more than happy to speak at your event, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I'm also working on building a Ridwanullah speakers team. I'm not sure how long that'll be, but somewhere down the line, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me, I'm passionate about training speakers to be able to speak with power, with precision and persistence, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's pretty much it. I think I've given you a lot of the announcements and updates that I have. I can't think of any other ones right now, but those are it. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Show your love and support. Jazakumullahu khair on that. So getting into the goals, you guys will see the strategies that I've looked into. My life, I boil it down to 4 parts, and in this particular way. The first part is my financial and work goals. The second part is my deen and self goals. The third one is my family and relative goals. And the fourth one is the ummah and world goals. So those are the 4 parts, and they have particular breakdowns, and just to kind of quickly go over them before I dive into it. Under the financial and work goals, the first one is my income goals. There's only 3 parts in the financial and work goals: my income goals, my net worth and investment portfolio goals. Third one is my work goals, whether that's through my job and or businesses, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And the last but not least, well, I don't even know I said last but not least, but the second one is my deen and self goals. And I believe there are 4 subcategories within that. The first one is my deen goals, obviously, which is more spiritual and psychological goals. The second one is my health and fitness. The third one is my neatness and abundance. And my fourth goal is my adventure and fun goals. So that is the 4 parts within the deen and self goals. The third main area is my family and relatives, and I believe I've updated it to 5 goals, and I've adjusted my priorities based on traveling to my sister's wedding, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, and just being able to see my parents. I've learned that it's important for me to kind of re-strategize to 5 parts. The first one is my parents. The second one is my spouse and children. The third one is my siblings, nieces and nephews. The fourth one is my aunts, uncles, and cousins. And the fifth one is my family-in-law, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So those are the areas that I'll be working on. And the last but not least, 4th goal, this is when I should be saying my last but not least, is the ummah and the world. And there are 4 categories within that. So there's the family, the masjid and friends, the neighbors and community goals. The third one is the city and state goals, and the fourth one is the country and world goals. So I'm able to categorize and chunk my whole life beautifully into these categories. And it's one of the biggest struggles that I've been through in my life is knowing the difference between my values and priorities in life. So hopefully I'll be able to do a Ridwanullah TV show on that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But I just wanted to give you an update on that as well, because a lot of things change. There's very specific reasons why they change, but within the same token, you guys will be able to keep up to date with that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, on how things are going and the steps that I'm taking to be able to get to the goals that I want. And just to kind of let you know, there are goals that I share with you guys publicly. There are goals that are private. There are goals that are kind of going between the two. So sometimes I might let you guys know, sometimes I might not. So I hope that you guys respect that privacy. A lot of it is general information as well. Some of it is very specific. But hopefully, as time go on, I'll be feeling more comfortable sharing with you guys specific ones. I don't want to bore you with a lot of them, but I want to share with you with many of them. Some of them are particularly related to you, so that's why I let you know as well. So those are the goals that I have, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that I wanted to be able to share with you in terms of summary and update. So getting on to the first part is the financial and work goals. Let's see. So this has been a real struggle for me. And, you know, with the travels that I've done, it's been quite a drop, but it's a good drop. It's not one of those bad drops. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And my income goals, I'm just going to let you guys know generally. Since this is Shawwal, it's the 10th month, we should be 84% into the year, and we will have 16%, if I'm not miscalculating, left of the year. So I should already have completed about 84% of whatever goal I've set, and about 16% left generally. So that's where we're at. So anything that I share with you has to kind of meet up to that standard. So the first goal that I've had in the income goal is to make a certain amount for the year. And this is the part that I'm keeping private, but I want to let you guys know of the percentages, so you at least have an idea of it. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And so far into the year, I've accomplished about 69% of that goal. I should be at 83%, which is not good. So I have about 31% left. So let's see, out of 84% minus 69 is about I'm about 15% behind on my income goal for the year, which is in one sense really bad, but in the other sense it's really good because I never even knew where I was to begin with. And this is the first year where I'm consciously looking at it, measuring it, you know, trying to achieve it. So hopefully next year it'll be better. And there were some changes in my expenses for the month that increased my income goal. So based on my current work, the gap will just keep getting wider as the year winds up. So I don't know if that's quite making sense, but it makes perfect sense to me, unless I change or add my work strategy. The income reality will kind of be the same, and that's one of my biggest struggles, to be able to improve my income. And inshallah, hopefully next year will be a lot better, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But that's the result. Overall, I'm doing great. In one sense, in another sense, I'm not doing so well. So I'm looking forward to improving on that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. The second goal that I had is start a passive income stream. I haven't started that yet. I'm in the works. It's not as quick or as easy as a lot of people think. So I'm still trying to figure out, as I achieve a lot of these goals, to be able to figure that out. So I haven't achieved that, so miserably failing in that. And to be quite honest with you, I can miraculously pull it off this year, but that'll be something that might be pushed on until next year, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Financial freedom, I think that kind of goes with the first one, so I'll skip that one. This one is not that necessary, so I'll just skip that. The numbers are a little off, so I've been adjusting and adapting it, so I'll just keep going from there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Filed my 2018 taxes. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to successfully do that early on in the year. This one is a general one, so I'll skip that. So just to kind of let you guys know, I'm not skipping it for no reason. I feel like a lot of the goals that I set in the beginning of the year, 1440, is not the best, to be quite honest with you. I feel like my goal setting could improve a lot. So I'm skipping them because they're not that relevant. It's not, and it's kind of repetitive. So that's the reason why I'm skipping a lot of these goals. So you guys have an idea of that. It's not just for no reason, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So this one is, create some positive cash flow. To be quite honest with you, I'm succeeding a little bit, but failing miserably on that as well. I don't know what that exactly means. Maybe 10% to start off with. I know last month, Shawwal, I actually overspent by about at least $1,000, and you asked me how that happens. So one of the financial and work goals that principles that I'm trying to implement is to live on less than I make. And I realized my expenses are way higher than my income. So I really have to kind of adjust and adapt, and I've kind of been going on cutting my expenses a lot. So hopefully as time goes on, I'll be able to improve on that goal, and I'll be able to consistently produce positive cash flow, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that kind of concludes my income goals. Getting on to the net worth and investment goals category. So I wanted my net worth to be at 100%. Again, that's another private one as of right now that I don't feel comfortable sharing. Just to let you know, I came through the past year or so, I came from a negative net worth and shifted to a positive net worth, which was an amazing thing that I didn't even fathom that was possible for me because of how deep I felt I was in debt. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, being in a positive net worth is an incredible feeling, as minimal as it may be. At the end of the year, I wanted to be at 100% by the end of Dhul Hijjah in 1440 this year. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, obviously some of the things that took the net worth and investment goals down was investment portfolio goals. Down was the fact that I went to Umrah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that cost a couple of grand, especially during the last 10 days of Ramadan, is almost double the expenses as a normal Umrah. And then going to my sister's wedding, that takes some reasonable amount of expenses. So that took my net worth down and my family's net worth down a lot. But even through that, we were able to still be at 71% of our net worth goal. So we have about 29% left. So that's been an amazing thing to kind of just put in perspective for me. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. What was I about to say on that? So I'm looking forward to the net worth goal that I will inshallah be setting next year, just to kind of see how far I could take it. I'm still going to be a little bit conservative next year, but after that I'm going to be more aggressive with my goal setting, because I didn't want to overwhelm myself in the beginning. I just wanted to have some reasonably incremental shifts to achieve my goals and dreams. So having a reasonable net worth has been a game changer in my life. And I honestly do not have an investment portfolio. The small investment portfolio that I've had, I actually had to cancel and close because I learned I was invested in mutual funds, and I learned it's not really worth investing in mutual funds. It's not that profitable. So I'm still trying to figure out, once I get my financial foundation and framework in place, I'll be able to bi-idhnillahi ta'ala figure out how I can have the positive cash flow from investing in myself, my career and businesses, to start making some legitimate investments, halal investments, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I've been asking some of my friends who are doing some halal investing, just kind of learning and growing from them and through them. So that's going to be an exciting thing that I'm anticipating, that I'm not in a position to do right now. So my net worth goal, I'm a little behind, honestly. So I should be at 80. 4%, I'm at 71. So I'm about 15% behind on that as well. So that's crazy how, I think that's 15. So 84 minus 71. Man, I didn't know I was this bad at math. I guess I've relied on the calculator too much. 13%. So I'm about 13% behind, and I hope that gap doesn't get wider as the end of the year comes through. But again, you know, this is the first year that I'm kind of really setting some real financial goals that are just wishes and things like that. So this year, as the time goes on, I'll be falling farther and farther behind on my financial goals. But as year and year go on, hopefully I'll be not only getting closer and closer to my financial goal, hopefully I'm surpassing it. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And there's a lot of financial goals that I really have to achieve sooner or later, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The next goal that I have in my net worth and investment portfolio goals is to pay off a medical bill. And I'm actually just realizing and being grateful that, you know, in the beginning, and you guys could watch, you know, the monthly goals reports that I've been doing for about a year now. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I had no idea where to put certain goals. I had no idea which way to categorize certain things. But right now, as I continue to do that, continue to implement and improve, I know where certain goals go. I know which ones where each goal belongs now. So alhamdulillah, I just realized that by looking at the medical bill actually falls under the net worth and investment portfolio goals. So I'm looking forward to moving forward on that. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that medical bill has already been paid through some financial assistance in my own. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It was roughly about $5,000 or more. The beginning of this year, I had to go to the emergency. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to move past that and focus on my health a lot more as I continue to figure out how to improve my health and fitness, as you guys will see as the goal come on, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The next goal is, this one is a private goal. I have about $100 left on that goal, so I'll move on from there. This one is another private goal. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to achieve it. This one was another private goal and I was able to achieve it. Those private goals I barely achieved. To be quite honest with you, I had to kind of borrow from different parts of my financial envelopes to be able to make it happen. But you know, you got to do what you got to do in certain situations, and alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made certain realities amazingly great for me, alhamdulillah. This one is another private goal that is actually for next year, so I'll skip it. This one is another private goal that I'll share with you guys in the future that is for next year as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. This one is probably repetitive. Create financial freedom, so I'll just skip that. Explore and capitalize on investment opportunities. You know, I've been dealing with a lot of entrepreneurs and investors that are, or entrepreneurs and those who want to become investors, including myself. And they wanted to partner up with them in certain businesses or to help them, you know, achieve their goals as a maximizer, you know, as a coach. So I'm still looking to explore that. I'm not in a position to capitalize on it right now. But I believe that you can at least establish relationships and, you know, gain general knowledge. So that's what I'm looking forward to exploring. So if you have an investment opportunity, the one that I'm most interested in is dividends paying investments. That's just basically an investment that pays me to be able to invest in them on a monthly basis. So if you know of any great dividend paying investments, let me know in the comments below. I'm very interested in that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Or if you just have any business ideas that you would like to talk to me about, or investments ideas or opportunities, please connect with me. I'll be more than happy to hear that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that actually concludes my net worth and investment portfolio goals. The next one, the last but not least category in the financial and work goals category, is my work goals. That's my jobs and businesses, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Hopefully, as time goes on, I'll be able to transition from job or my jobs to my, being a full-time entrepreneur. And I had to realize that that's not a quick shift. It'll take years, to be quite honest with you, unless you're, fierce entrepreneur that, is hell-bent on making that a reality. And I'm, it's not just me anymore. I have a family, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wife and kids, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I can't, I could sacrifice myself, but I can't sacrifice my wife and kids. And take them through this. I want to be able to make it a smooth transition, as hard as it could be at times. So that's one of my goals for that. So the first one is the jobs that I have, the jobs that I have, and then the businesses that I have. As of right now, the businesses the jobs that I have is one main one, and I'm trying to figure out if I could add another one. And I also have the Ridwanullah organization business, which is two parts, which is the actual organization, as well as trying to figure out how to build my personal brand, because eventually I want to be able to build the Ridwanullah organization to be able to self-sustain. And then obviously when I'm building my own personal brand, that's just going to be me. Obviously I'll have a team, but it's only my content. The reason why I'm building both of them is I wanted to have something that will last beyond me. And that's what a professional brand does. But a personal brand is powerful within that same token. So hopefully anybody who's interested in taking part of the Ridwanullah organization, and joining this cause of helping people completely maximize their life. I'm not in a position to hire people right now. Maybe I could take some unpaid volunteers and interns as of right now, in certain situations that I could pay individuals. But hopefully, if you would love to join the Ridwanullah team, let me know. If you want to join the Hussein Mohamud team, we'll see what that looks like in the future as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And some other flipping businesses and things like that I want to do, but those are the two main businesses that I have right now that I'm working on, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So that's for the job. Let's see right here. This goal is to maximize my income from my job. To be quite honest with you, with certain changes at work, that actually dropped significantly. So let's see. I would say I'm at about 60%, I would say. So that's about 40%. So I have to figure out how to adjust and adapt to that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, within that organization or outside of it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The next one is to improve my productivity at work. This one is also at 60%. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I could be doing a lot better. So I'm working on that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The next goal is to make sure I consistently hit at least 104% of my monthly goals every month. I've been miserably failing in that. There's only 2 months left. We are 10 months in, and I think I've only achieved that 5 times so far, which sucks a lot. And I think it's a lot of it is, during Ramadan, I like to really focus on Ramadan and my travels and everything. I wasn't able to, really focus on it, and that's more of an excuse. But I've completed 5. I have 5 to go. Well, actually 7 to go. With 2 months left, so I don't know how to kind of prioritize that. So I haven't been doing very well. I've been doing good in the beginning of the year, but for some reason, usually around Ramadan is when things get a little shaky for me because I'm trying to balance so many things. But I'm trying to figure out how to improve on that and not use Ramadan as an excuse not to produce results. So that's another goal. I could do a lot better. I'm not failing miserably, but I could do a lot better, and inshallah overall. This one is, not that significant, so I'll leave that. Successfully transition to successfully working from home. So I completed that goal, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, and I'm still trying to adjust and adapt to working from home because there's so many things that I've been through, but I'm looking forward to improving to successfully work from home. So I've achieved that goal. I could be doing a lot better in it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This was an online position that I was trying to apply for that I got rejected is the next goal. So, being rejected hurts, but I was able to kind of get through it. So, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we'll move on from there. And that actually concludes the goals for my job. We'll be moving forward to the goals of my businesses, which is Ridwanullah organization as well as the Hussein Mohamud organization, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Bismillah, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I had to take a quick break to drain the bladder. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Not to get too anatomic, get into the anatomy and you know what I mean. All right, let's get back into it. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I just wrapped up the jobs section of my work to getting into my businesses. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And as of right now, the two main businesses that I'm working on is Ridwanullah organization and Hussein Mohamud organization. And, just some side hustles every here and there. But let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're not really full businesses yet. But they're actual real life businesses. Some people think I joke around, and I'm not joking around. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I take my businesses very, very seriously. It's just the point that I was reflecting on just a few moments ago. So getting into the businesses. This goal right here is actually a next year's goal. I've always dreamed about, or some year down the line goal. I've always dreamed about hosting an annual conference, and that's going to be the Ridwanullah conference. So I'm thinking about how to kind of put that together, but I'm not in that level yet right now. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Renew business, so that goal is on the shelf. The next goal is renew business registrations and licenses. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I believe everything is up to date. The PO box is actually coming up to be renewed this month. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. But everything else, as far as I know, seems to be up to date. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see here. So that goal is successfully achieved as of right now. The next goal is to get my website back up and running. I haven't done that yet. And I don't even know if I'll be able to pull it off this year. But inshallah, since there's only 2 months left, or maybe I could pull it off. But I'll be able to see what I could do on that. So I'm failing miserably on that, but hopefully not for long. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This was relating to the website, get regular traffic and visitors to my website. So that's irrelevant as of right now. Get a learning management software system for my online business. I haven't really taken the proper steps yet, so I'm still researching on that. And I think that is definitely something that'll be most likely be pushed into next year. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Get webinar service. That's another thing that I'm kind of thinking about and working on, and which will most likely be pushed into next year as well. So that goal is not it. So I will get Amazon Seller Central account. This is the when the Amazon business fever was going on. So I really kind of shifted from there. Eventually, I'll do business on Amazon when it makes sense, and most likely Shopify as well when it makes sense. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But as of right now, I'm not on that level yet to be able to do business on Amazon or with Amazon. The next goal is launch my first physical product. Obviously, that goes along with the Amazon business or maybe the Shopify business. So as of right now, I have a lot of different physical product ideas out there. So I'm still trying to figure it out. The first one is to actually this right here, the notebook, which I use very, very often, is very, very important. So I'm thinking about creating a Ridwanullah notebook fairly soon. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I don't know how soon that is. And the next one is my Ridwanullah planner. So those are some of the basic ones that I'm thinking about. I'm not really sure when or how I'll be able to execute that. Definitely doesn't seem like it's going to happen this year, but hopefully sometime down next year or the following year, we'll see, inshallah. So build my email list of Ridwanullah maximizers to this amount. That hasn't really improved because I don't have really the systems in place for people to automatically sign up. And I'm thinking about something valuable to give those individuals who would love to join the Ridwanullah Maximizers email list. So we'll be able to see what that looks like once I have everything up and running. I'm thinking about a simple introduction training to, completely maximize your life. So you can get a quick sample of what this whole work is really about and what we're trying to do. So any ideas for that, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm about 51%. I still have about 49% left. So I really haven't moved on that. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So I really have to, since that is my main method of communication, early product launches and things like that will mainly be communicated via email through the Ridwanullah Maximizers email list. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So send us an email until we're able to have you automatically sign up. Send us an email at Ridwanullah Organization at gmail.com, and we'll put you on the list. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Of our main method of communication. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So the next goal is to get my Ridwanullah Organization, Ridwanullah TV YouTube channel to at least 350 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were at 245 subscribers. So that's not really much of a jump, but I'm about 70% towards my goal, and about 30% left. So if you could help out, that'd be greatly appreciated. The Ridwanullah Organization channel, YouTube channel, as well as the Hussein Mohamud channel, and you'll be able to see on both of these. You can see on the channel feature. So love for you to subscribe, for you to join the Ridwanullah Maximizers family. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And this is my personal channel. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that yet, but I'm still posting some content there. I wanted to be able to get it to 100 subscribers for the year, but I'm from the last time I checked, I was at 49. So I'm roughly about 49% into it. So I still have about 51 subscribers to go. So if you could help me out on that channel as well to subscribe to that. As of right now, I'm still posting the same things on both the Ridwanullah Organization YouTube channel as well as the Hussein Mohamud YouTube channel, as well as the Facebook pages. But eventually the idea is I'll be able to build Ridwanullah organization to a point where I don't need to, run and grow it. It'll be self-sustaining and growing. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and I could just chip in. And then I have some content creators to be able to chip in with the articles, the videos, the podcast, and whatever else that we have going on. But the Hussein Mohamud channel will be purely me and my content. But the Ridwanullah organization eventually, or somehow, some way, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but we're going to try to open it up to everybody to help us completely maximize our lives. So specific experts will be able to kind of focus on their work as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So if you're a content creator that would like to have some exposure for your content or just gain some experience, Ridwanullah organization will definitely be able to help you with that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So send us some content. We'll be able to look it over and see what we can share if it aligns with our message, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm kind of, way behind on this, but, this is the first time. I'm still trying to learn a lot. So inshallah, sooner or later, we'll be able to get through that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Launch my first launch Ridwanullah University, which is the monthly membership program. That's still in the works. I've been failing miserably on that, but I maybe have put too much on my plate. So I'll definitely try to see if I can save that for next year, which is 1441 of the Hijri year. Launch my first online course. It's kind of along with the same lines of the monthly membership program, but I just want to have a course out there separate from the monthly membership program that will help people, completely maximize their lives. And the one that I'm thinking about right now is the paycheck to paycheck course. The objective of that is to help you get out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle and produce a positive cash flow so you can work on building your wealth and life through that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So let me know what you guys think on that. I'm failing miserably on that as well. So we'll just kind of put that there. So the next goal is publish my first book, which is the Completely Maximize Your Life book. That's still in the works. I'm still thinking through a couple of other book ideas, and it's always changing because your focus and desire changes as well. The other book that I'm thinking about is Giving Up Is Not an Option. The other one is Getting Started, Overcoming Emotional Pain. Those are the ideas that are brewing in my head right now. I don't know which one I'm going to go with. I've never written a book. So I'm looking forward to that challenge because I know it's not going to be an easy process. So I'm failing miserably on that. I have a couple of the book ideas and outlines, so I'll at least give myself a 25% there, with 75% left, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, on my first book. I have a lot more book outlines than I would like to admit, but hopefully sooner or later I'll be pulling the trigger. Perfectionism is Killing You is another book idea because that's been the same thing that I've been experiencing. The next one is do at least 10 speaking engagements and seminars for the year. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I've had a lot of speaking engagement opportunities in the beginning of the year. Haven't had much lately, but I have a couple in the works right now. I was able to do 4, I believe, so far. And I still have about 6 left. I'm not sure if I'll be able to hit this goal for this year at least. But, we'll see what we can do to the best of our abilities. I think I've made a couple of mistakes that I shouldn't have with my speaking engagements career. But I think everything happens for a reason. So I know I have confidence that inshallah everything will start to pick up with my speaking engagements, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and our speaking engagements as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So 40% in and about 60%, and 10 speaking engagements for a whole year is not that much, but I wanted to set a realistic goal for where I am right now. And inshallah, that'll snowball into much, much bigger and greater things in the future, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And I think I know I have one or two coming up before the end of the year. So I'll be roughly about 60. If I could get 10 speaking engagements to finish off the month, I have the capacity and the capability. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, is just the opportunities that show up. So the next one is purchase of equipment and or supplies for my businesses. That I haven't been able to, because I feel like there's maybe better ways of investing. Obviously the lighting, especially when I'm at the home office, is going to be very, very important for me. So I need to look into that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'll just kind of skip over that because there's a lot of details that I haven't really looked into. I haven't really made much moves there because of my limited finances. I want to be able to have some wiggle room when I need it, instead of putting it all in one direction. I'm looking for 4 more coaching consulting clients to help them completely maximize their lives. As of right now, I still have that capacity so far. So if anybody's looking for coach and consultant, to hold you accountable, to help you completely maximize your life, or any specific area that you would like to focus on, send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullah organization at gmail.com, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see. So I'm failing miserably on that, to be quite honest and transparent with you guys, because it takes a lot to kind of build your coaching and consulting practice, because everybody is broke, and I need to focus on those who are not, so I could help those who are not as well as those who are, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's so the next goal is consistently post content on Ridwanullah TV, as well as the Ridwanullah organization YouTube channel, as well as the Hussein Mohamud YouTube channels. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I've been very, very successful in that as well. So I'll say 84% in, just to kind of put a little bit of math into it, and about 16% left for the year, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I have to figure out how to make it a numerical goal, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Do your first webinar and course around completely maximizing your life. I haven't been able to do that for various reasons, and I'll be able to push that into next year. So failing miserably on that. So inshallah, that'll be improving. I'll be improving on that, inshallah. Consistently find working strategy in space. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I'm able to, in the beginning, the reason why I set that goal is I didn't know where to work, how to work, and how to go about it. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I was able to find a routine between my home office, the outside office, as well as the anywhere office. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I'm still trying to improve on that. But overall, about 80% accomplished on that, which was a great accomplishment. But I'm still learning and growing, as I'm learning and growing in every area of my life. So that's good. I'm happy with that goal. The next one is improve my life maximization system, strategic system. That's the same thing. I've been, slowly, surely, but tweaking, how to, improve the system, my life achievement system. I don't know what to call it, but it's been going great so far. It's been very, very hard because of the values and priorities system. Different people have different values and priorities. Some people think values and priorities are one of the same thing, which is not. They overlap on a lot of things, but they're two separate things, as I've come to learn. And by having that distinction, I'm able to kind of value and prioritize my life in this particular way. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I would say about 80%. I still feel like there's a couple of things that I really have to kind of fix and align, but I'm feeling great about it. So that's been a great accomplishment in my business and work life. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So this goal is to open Patreon accounts for Ridwanullah organization as well as the Hussein Mohamud organization, and I've been able to successfully do that. I haven't really had any Patreon so far, so if you want to be one of the first ones, I'll be greatly appreciative to help me support to support me to build this Ridwanullah organization and Hussein Mohamud organization. I'm primarily focused on Ridwanullah organization first because it'll by default build my personal brand since I'm the face of the organization as of right now. But hopefully we'll have some fresh and new blood into the organization bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that was very, very successful. I did that early on in the year as far as I remember it. So the next goal is to publish at least 12 monthly goals reports. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are in the 10th month and we have been successfully doing these monthly goals reports. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So this is the 10th one that I'm doing, so been very, very happy about that progress. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And this is one of the things that has impacted my finance, my career, in life in profound ways. So I'm very, very happy of this. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Publicly declare my annual 1440 so if it's this year, yeah, I think so. Yeah. So the 1440, I actually have to publicly declare it during this year. So I just was trying to think that through. So I was able to accomplish that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Usually in the first week or two in the year, I release to you guys my annual goals and resolutions. And I'm looking forward to doing that for next year. Since we're in the fourth quarter of 1440, I'll be gearing up to completing that so it could be published the beginning of the year in 1441 bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I was able to successfully achieve that. Was another amazing one because I get to review my year, how it went, and everything else along that line, and we'll be able to go through that bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Exploring capitalize on business partnerships and opportunities. Obviously I don't have any business partners right now. I'm not adverse to it as of right now because of all the things that I've learned about it. So I'm still 10% in, talking to different entrepreneurs and seeing what their goals and ideas are and seeing where and when we can team up. Hopefully I'll have I actually accidentally pressed the stop button. So hopefully I'll have the financial capacity and capability as well as the time capacity and capability to capitalize on some of the business opportunities bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The arbitrage business, make sure I get rid of the Gadget Zone inventory. I don't know why it's still lingering with me. But I feel like sooner or later that'll be accomplished overall. I'm at 80%. I have 20% left that's still lingering. So I'm looking forward to knocking that out, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Hopefully this year. I don't want it to get into next year. Start flipping online and offline. This is just some, I want to be able to figure out how to produce positive cash flow as I'm working on the different ideas of the different businesses that I'm engaged in right now. So inshallah we'll be able to see how that goes. Tracking and budgeting. So this one actually belongs in the income goal. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 goals that I'll be moving up bi-idhnillahi ta'ala to the income. So stick to one calendar system. This has been a struggle for me for my income goal. I don't know whether to use I would love to use the Hijri calendar, but I feel like things are just so unorganized because I get paid on the on the Gregorian calendar, and I have to pay on the Gregorian calendar. So I really am not. I'm still not settled in it. About 2 months, I shifted back to the Gregorian calendar, no, the Hijri calendar, and I want to know if I could shift back to the Gregorian calendar right now, since I get paid on that and I pay bills on that. But I definitely cannot change my other goals from the Hijri calendar. That's my base. I would love to transition everything into it, but I might have to transfer my financial budgeting system to the Hijri calendar system, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm still up in the air on that. Hopefully, for those who understand where I'm coming from, can give me some advice, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Consistently track my budget for at least 3 months consistently. I'm almost there, but I think I'm about 2 months in. This might be the third month or the second month. I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure out how I could do that for this. But I'm still uncertain about which system to stay on. So that's what makes this tricky. And that's probably what triggered me to actually set that goal. So I'll be able to see where that is, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Create an annual budget. I still haven't done that. This is an idea that I got from learning about my finances and work, just to have an annual budget set. But I really have to get my monthly budget going in the right direction, and I can, maybe that's just an excuse, but we'll see, inshallah. Hopefully I'll be able to consistently budget properly. At least produce positive cash flow per month. That's another redundant goal, so I'll skip over that. And that actually concludes my financial and work goals. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So now what I'll do is transition into my deen and self goals, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and then continue on that way, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see here. So the first one is the deen goals. So the first goal is to consistently attend tafsir class, and the program has been put on pause because of Ramadan. A lot of the programs get on pause, so I haven't been up to date with that, and I have a lot of different conflicting schedules that I have to work through. Being in the beginning stages of building my financial and work goals, I really have to get in a situation where I'm fully present. So needless to say, I'm not doing as good as I need to be, but I'm not doing as bad as I could be, or whatever that means. So I could definitely be improving on that. In other words, we're still getting back into the swing of things overall. So we'll see how that goes. It's the same thing with the fiqh class. There's another kitab that our imam is going to bi'idhnillahi ta'ala start. So I'll see if I could fit that in my schedule. As time goes on, I feel like I'll have more capacity and capability to improve my deen goals. But as of right now, I really have to get a lot of my financial and work goals in order, that I don't transition those negative habits somewhere else, because I'm doing that about 8 to 10, if not 15 hours of my day. So we'll see how that goes, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. The next goal is join as many of the monthly lectures at the masjid as possible. I've actually attended as much as I could. There hasn't been a lot lately because we've been going through Ramadan and so many other things that we're trying to work back from. So I'm looking forward to that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. The next goal is to memorize at least one juz. And quite honestly, I failed miserably on that throughout the whole year. I haven't memorized anything extra for this year, which really, really sucks. And I think I'm in the process of shifting my goal from memorization to tajweed goals, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, but we'll see, inshallah. So I'm failing miserably on some of the most important goals, but hopefully I'm kind of setting myself up in a way that will allow me to capitalize on that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The next one is to memorize at least 4 authentic hadith. I'm failing miserably on that as well. In the past, I've memorized about a handful of authentic hadith from a scholar, a local scholar, as well as just on my own. So that kind of gave me a good taste of, understanding the value of having authentic hadith memorized. And I've started with the Arba'in an-Nawawi and another one that the scholar was teaching me on years ago. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I want to be able to improve on that. I'm failing miserably, so hopefully I can improve on that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm smiling because the next goal I didn't think I was able to achieve, especially during the last 10 days of Ramadan, which was going to Umrah. And for 2 weeks, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has incredibly blessed me in ways that I cannot even imagine. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to amazingly and successfully achieve that goal within, towards the end of Ramadan, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So that's been an amazing experience, and I'm actually thinking about dedicating a whole Ridwanullah TV show to that, so hopefully we'll see, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Take at least 10 days of Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr off. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, by going to Umrah and taking off Eid al-Fitr, I was able to successfully achieve that, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Pay Zakat al-Fitr, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to successfully achieve that as well. Pay Zakah, as of right now, that is taken care of, and I don't know if I've met the Nisab yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like for me personally, so I can move forward, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Fast 6 days of Shawwal. It's been a real struggle for me to fast 6 days of Shawwal, because as soon as I came from Umrah, I was actually fasting on the flight back, but I had to break my fast because of my health issues. I was just feeling really, really sick. I didn't realize that there's so many people coming in the same place with different sicknesses and diseases. So, well, not sicknesses and diseases, like airborne diseases. So anyway, I was able to successfully achieve that so far, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be as well. So I was able to successfully achieve that, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The next goal is fast and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. We are in Dhul Qa'dah. I hope I'm saying that right. Dhul Hijjah is next month, so there's going to be 2-3 weeks before we get into that, so I'm looking forward to that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Take complete advantage of Ramadan. That has been a success, even though it wasn't a great start. So that's, a great success, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The next goal is take full advantage of the 4 holy months. As you guys know, I like to pay attention to the holy months of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because it's very, very important. And the first one is Muharram, the second one is Rajab. The third and fourth is Dhul Qa'dah and Dhul Hijjah. These are very, very important months that we should pay attention to. I still have to figure out the details and learn about them. I know about them generally. So I'm going to be paying very special and close attention to these months to, eliminate, if not decrease, if not eliminate the sins and transgression, and focus on maximizing my good deeds, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm doing okay in that. I could be doing a lot better, but I generally know what it's about. The next one is fast Ashura, which is usually in Muharram, the first month, and I was successfully able to fast the 10th and 11th month. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, or a day I should say, not month. And then the next goal is fast Mondays and Thursdays. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that's been going well so far. I do not fast Mondays and Thursdays during the quarterly retreats or when I'm sick. or when I just need some time to get back. So right now, I'm still trying to get back to 100%. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I feel about 95, 90-ish percent health-wise. And I just completed the 6 days of Shawwal. So this week and maybe next week, I'm going to take a break and then I'll start getting back into it. So I'm very, very, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, successful at that. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept. The next one is to fast the white days, which is 13, 14, and 15th day of the Hijri month. I haven't been successful at that. Maybe I'll push that towards the next year to at least do one and then see how that feels and learn about it and then go from there. I know from a physiological perspective that's very, very important. But I know the physiological perspective is not the objective, is the spiritual and psychological benefit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm going to be focused on. So I'm going to learn about that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala sooner or later. And I know I've been saying that throughout the year. And maybe that's the accountability part. But we'll see, inshallah. I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me, inshallah. This one was a long shot. I finished reading the entire Quran at least once with its translation. I've been failing miserably on that. I've read parts here and there, but not anywhere near where I need to be. So failing miserably on that. Finished reading summarized Bukhari at least once. Failing miserably on that as well. Maybe once I'm able to figure out how to, figure out what I'm after with that. So I'll be able to adjust that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala for next year. Focus on praying Fajr on time at the masjid. I've been failing miserably on that, sadly, because of a lot of the travels that I've been doing and my sickness, sickness that I've been going through with my health and fitness issues. It's not major issues, but it's enough to knock me off my routines, as sad as that may be. So I'm looking forward to getting back to my Fajr routine sooner than later, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, or just get used to traveling and being on my routine, which really, really sucks being off my routine, but inshallah sooner or later I'll be able to get back on that. Overall, I'm not doing really bad. I'm not doing as good as I should either on that. So the next goal is continuously improve my mindset. So this one, I've realized that I've had a lot of inner conflicts, fear and inner conflicts that I had to overcome. And by taking action, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I've been improving my mindset a lot, letting go of grudges and resentment and so many other things that I was holding on to spiritually and psychologically. But that's been great so far. My mindset is very, very strong. Weak at times, overall strong, but still trying to. There's a lot of growth, a lot of improvement for me personally, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see. Continuously purify your intentions and sincerity for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of those general ones. I've been not that good lately, just the way I feel. But we'll work on that. The sincere people, the righteous people feel like a hypocrite, and the hypocrite people feel like they're righteous. So hopefully it's a good sign that I feel like a hypocrite. But we'll see, inshallah. I can improve a lot on that. Improve my iman and taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of those measurement goals that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, but we can measure it to the best of our abilities based on how I feel and really am, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it so. I've been really, really struggling with my iman and taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I feel like it could get a lot better, and I'm more hopeful than before. One of the du'as that I keep making is ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. It's just not to backtrack to disbelief after having been given iman, as little as it may be, as big as it may be at times. And that's just the proper belief of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that the iman goes up, iman and taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes up and down, and we work to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness, to work on achieving the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that concludes my deen goals. This is my secular deen goals, which is spiritual and psychological goals. Listen to at least 4 book summaries. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I think I'm at 11, so I've crushed that goal. So Alhamdulillah, we'll see how I can adjust and adapt that. Listen to at least 4 audiobooks. I'm at 0 right now. I've started 2, but I haven't really finished it, which really sucks, but we'll see how that goes in the future, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Take Financial Peace University. I've been thinking about that for a long time. Really haven't convinced my wife to be able to take it with me, so I'm looking forward to doing that next year. She's not as averse to it as before. Don't beat me up when I get home, sweetheart. But yeah, I'm looking forward to taking that because I've benefited so much that I feel like it's only right for me to take the course and learn even more. Take Finance and Accounting course online. There's one course that was advertised on YouTube that I really liked. I'm gonna find that and take it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year, but hopefully next year I'll be able to take more courses. I think since I'm in the space of the education space and online course space that I'm working towards, I realized that the biggest challenge is, number one, having enough money. Number two, and even though if you have enough money, and I feel like with these courses it's not much so of the money, I feel like it's more of the time, energy, and effort. Like with everything that is going on in my life, how can I carve out some time and energy and effort to truly learn from it and to truly implement it? And I think I'm gonna try to make some time, like at least an hour or two to learn and develop from different courses and programs that I'm already doing, but I need to double down on and really take advantage of it and take these particular specific courses as well. So that's a challenge that I really have to overcome and make room in my schedule to be able to do that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Because with the Ridwanullah University, it's usually 2 to 3 hours a week that you have to set aside to learn, and then you could implement throughout the whole year, as you go along. So just as I expect others to make room in their schedule, I have to do that for other programs along with the programs that I'm already doing, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's just a thought there. Completely skim through at least 4 physical or digital written books. Sadly, I haven't done that yet, which sucks, but hopefully I'll be able to at least do one. And I want to just kind of, I've benefited a lot from skimming, honestly. I'm just taking the main nuggets and moving forward. So I'm going to look forward to getting back to that. The other one is read at least 1 physical or digital written book. So that's actually not listen or anything else, just like going from cover to cover, like detail by detail. And I don't remember doing that for a very long time, and I failed miserably this year as well. And I don't think, maybe if I cheat, I don't know if it's called cheating, but if I read a smaller book, I'll be able to read it from cover to cover like I've done before. But I want to be able to read like, 250 page book from cover to cover. I just don't have enough time, energy, and effort to be able to do that, but the future looks very, very promising for me, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So we'll see how that goes, bi-idhnillah. So that completes my secular, spiritual, and psychological goals. The next goal is my health and fitness. Go on hiking at least once a quarter. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I went on 4 hikes of the year already. I did not a complete hike. Third quarter in my Ridwanullah retreat. But it is what it is. I'll count that. I still have fourth quarter to go and in between, so I might be finishing with at least 5 major hikes, really good hikes for the year. So I'm definitely on track with that. Very, very. I love hiking. I didn't think that I would like hiking as much as I do. It's really, really great. Physically, spiritually, psychologically, wherever else you want to take it. Alhamdulillah. Overcome my binge eating disorder. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I feel like I'm at 90% with that, even though every now and then it creeps up on me. But I didn't think that I would be this far with my binge eating. For anybody who does not know what binge eating is, that's when you just eat uncontrollably and too much to cope emotionally and probably even physically, financially, or any other thing that is impacting your emotions. So I've had a real, conversation with my family members and friends about health and fitness, where I thought health and fitness was 4 parts, but that's only one part of the 2 major parts of health and fitness. The first part is emotions, and then the second part is the body. So I'm kind of readjusting and shifting my focus to my spiritual and psychological part of my health and fitness. So I'm doing a lot better after going through some struggles. So far, I'm doing great. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So I'm doing good on that goal. So the next goal is to run at least 5 minutes per day. I haven't been on my exercising game for a long time, so I'm failing miserably on that goal. So I'm thinking about adjusting it to making it more reasonable for me than 5 minutes every single day, which was a great experience. Make sure that I detoxify my body. Going through the ups and downs, I feel like I'm back at 50%. I got to a point where it was at 20% a month or 2 ago. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I'm back up to 50%. Hopefully I can get and hover around at least 80% on a regular basis. I got into eating salads, which helped out a lot. So I'm doing okay, but I could be doing a lot better, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This one is a personal goal, so I'll just skip that. My shoulders need some work. It's a lot better than it was before, but especially my right shoulder, I think I could... Ooh, man, I didn't think I needed a stretch, but let me get that in real quick. Alhamdulillah, talking about health and fitness, I'm over here going ham. Yeah, so that one, it's getting a lot better. I feel like I'm at 60%, but 40% is a lot of work to do. So we'll see how that goes. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I went to chiropractic adjustments, which helped out a lot. I went to get full body massages, which helped out a lot. And I'm trying to figure out how to straighten up my posture without looking weird. So that helped out a lot. So I'm still trying to work on my health and fitness. Oh, and I also got hijama for the first time in Mecca. So that was an amazing experience. Sadly, it was because I was sick. I wasn't able to take full advantage, but maybe it's because I was sick that I was able to take full advantage. So that's actually another goal that I'll actually put on there. As my first one, I only got five cups done. Somebody was telling me they did like 20 something, which is crazy, because they actually cut your skin with a blade. Ooh, that was not the best feeling in the world, I'll tell you that. So this one is actually a redundant goal, so I'll skip that. This one is a definitely personal goal. I'm improving on it a lot, but it's not as good as it could be, and I found some remedies. Alhamdulillah. Complete at least 12 fitra groomings. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That's just when I cut my hair, my nails, and everywhere else that grown-ups know about. And so 10, Alhamdulillah, I was able to complete 10 so far because we just completed the 10th month. We have 2 left, so I've been good on that. So the hijama was good, which is cupping. It has a lot of amazing health benefits, alhamdulillah. So in terms of neatness and abundance, renewed license plates, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that's coming up in the next month or so. For at least one of the cars, and then the other car, it's going to be a couple of months down the line, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's up to date so far. This one's a private goal that I really need to achieve, but I don't have the money to get it, so I'll just keep it private for right now. Clean house and home office at least 12 times per year. Since I've been traveling a lot, I haven't really been able to do as much as I needed to. So I missed 1 so far, so we have 2 left, 3 left. So maybe I'll try to get a clean in between to kind of make up for it. So I'm doing okay on that. I could be doing a lot better. My wife helped me out a lot, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, or vice versa. Buy 2 bookshelves. My wife bought one for me, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I don't know if I'll need another one, so I'll say that has been achieved, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This one's a private one. I definitely need to improve that, but we'll see how that goes. This one's just another private goal that I'll skip over, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that kind of concludes my health and fitness goals. And then my adventure and fun goals. This is one that I didn't know where to put. You know what I mean? Like, I know this has a lot to do with traveling, but some traveling could be, from my finance and work. Some traveling could be from my deen and self. Some traveling could be family and relatives. Some traveling could be ummah and world. And I don't know where to put it. Maybe this is a centralized location for any traveling I'll do. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. So I'll see. So enjoy full quarterly retreats, Ridwanullah retreats, around Salt Lake City, Utah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I've completed my 3rd quarter retreat, which was unbelievably amazing, and I did it with my cousin Liban. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm trying to open it out to the public where everybody pays for the quarterly retreats that is going to be guided, and I can't wait for that. I honestly can't. I don't know when I'll be able to pull it off, but we'll see, inshallah. So I was able to successfully achieve that, and this is where we went to Colesville and Echo, Utah. Chilled, ate at a nice Mexican restaurant. Just an amazing process, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Get chiropractic adjustment and full body massage. I don't know. I put 2, but I honestly only had 1 done. So I still have 3 more to go. It's the 3rd quarter, which really sucks. But 4th quarter, which really sucks. But I'll see if I could. I don't know if I'll be able to do it financially, and realizing my situation right now. It's not that I don't have the money to do it. It's just that I can't afford to do it, and that's a big difference financially. Go to the Seattle, Washington area for my sister's wedding. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Was able to successfully achieve that last month. Alhamdulillah. Again, this is a little redundant, but maybe I'll put all of my traveling goals here, whether it's finance and work, travel, any travel. I'll just put here, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But we'll see how that works. The next one is go to Umrah, which is repetitive because I've already let you guys know on the other one. But maybe this is the proper place to put it. So I'll kind of remove it from there. So I was able to successfully do that. go to this place. I don't want to let it out right now. I want to take another road trip. We actually took a big family road trip to Seattle, Washington. I don't think I've went to a road trip in years, so it was an amazing experience. It's daunting, but you need one of those every now and then. So I wanted to make another short road trip to go see family, but we'll see inshallah how that works out. The next one is host third annual Ridwanullah Brothers Iftar. And that was very, very successful. Before we left to Umrah, all of my friends gathered. I believe we were at Kebab Stop, and then just kind of took it from there. And we went to this brownie place, and it was just an amazing, unbelievable situation. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So the Saturday before the 10 days of Ramadan is when we usually host them. So if you're not aware of that, please mark your calendars. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that actually concludes my deen and self, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I actually have to go pray dhuhr, so I'll be able to get back to it and start off with the family and relatives, and then the ummah and the world. Usually those are kind of pretty quick. A lot of the heavy load is in the financial and work goals, as well as the deen and self goals. Even though family and relatives are very, very important, I feel like I'm not in the capacity and capability to do a lot in that area. But inshallah, sooner or later I'll be able to do that. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I'll come back to finish it off. And then we'll take it from there, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair. We'll continue. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We will pick up where we left off. Somehow, some way, this has got to get done today, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Just kind of had a couple of situations that happened, that's still happening right now, that I need to kind of maneuver through. So I'll be bi-idhnillahi ta'ala finishing the monthly goals report, Shawwal's monthly goals report here, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, in a different room in the home office, I should say. We'll pick up where we left off. I think we wrapped up the deen and self. And inshallah, I'll be getting into the family and relative goals, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and then finish up with the ummah and the world goals, and then that should be it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, for this monthly goals report. And I believe, just to kind of remind myself and you, that I did say that I will share with you some of the most important lessons that I've learned in the month of Shawwal. At the end of the monthly goals report, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. There's a lot of things that kind of happened in between. I went to pray dhuhr, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Try to get back to the situation where I couldn't, so I had to find a different opportunity and situation to be able to finish up my monthly goals report. I was able to eat lunch somewhere in between, which was like a tuna pasta with a bunch of sauces, just like I like it. Sadly, that's the reason why I'm so chubby. But yeah, that's the quick update. The reason why I had to switch locations, just in case you're wondering, so there's no confusion. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But it's still Shawwal's monthly goals report, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So in terms of the family and relative goals, the general one that I have right now is have better communication with my family members, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So in terms of communication, even though it's not as good as we need or want it to be, but it's not as bad as it was before. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I would say at least 60% out of 100% so far. So we have about 40% left, inshallah. So that one is getting better, as I mentioned, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So we're doing good on that goal. The next goal is host at least 2 family gatherings Um, and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, even though I wasn't hosting it, which is not a problem, um, we had a family gathering and get together for my sister's wedding. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So we'll say we're 50-50 right now. We'll see if we can try to do something else here in Salt Lake City, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, host the family gathering, bi'idhnillah. So we're doing good on that goal. I believe we should be able to complete at least one more, and then go on from there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. In terms of the parents' goals, I really don't have anything specifically set here because I've actually had to readjust it a little bit. Let's see. So you guys know that I had to readjust it a little bit. So I might have to give it a little bit of thought and pull from the other categories that I have my parents' goals in, and then just kind of pick it up from there. So for me, my blood parents as well as my parent-in-laws will generally fall under that same category, and then the rest of the family-in-law will be on the other category. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So as of right now, I don't have anything under that, even though that I do in the different areas. So we'll just kind of move on from there. In terms of spouse and children, actually, let me just think about a couple of parent goals. So better communication is definitely top of the list for the most part. Um, Okay, so I think I've added significant amount of goals under there, probably pulling in from the other ones as I mentioned. And just real quick, I wanted to let you guys know the reason why I put my parents up front, obviously, is because they're my parents. I had them up front before, but for some reason, just due to life circumstances, I didn't prioritize them and value them as much as I needed to, and still don't, sadly. But every day we're improving, every day we're learning. So that's after attending my sister's wedding, we were in a situation where I was not hearing about things anymore and the reality of the circumstance, for good or bad, but I actually was able to see it, and in the process of experiencing it as well. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That's what it is for right now, and now what is gonna be, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So yeah, that's what I have under the parents. There's significant amount in terms of spouse and children. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, there's plenty. Let me see if I can go through some of them, because I know with the parents one, as of right now, a lot of it is just private. So I'll just skim over that. In terms of spouse and children, this goal is private, this goal is private, this goal is private, this goal is private. So this goal, the first goal was private, but I was able to achieve it. The second goal is private as well. Alhamdulillah, I was able to achieve that as well. The third goal is private. Didn't achieve it yet, but it's a simple one that's like could be done within a couple of hours. Um, this one is I'll keep it private. It doesn't need we don't need it anymore, but it's probably good to just figure out what to do with it. Um, Bought washer and dryer. You guys already know that we were able to do that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This one is private and was able to achieve it. This next goal here. This one is extremely private, and I was able to accomplish it as well. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This next goal is also private, was able to achieve it. Next one is private and was able to achieve it. The next one is private. Did not get to achieve it because it's coming up. Um, this next one is definitely private, and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen was able to achieve it. In terms of siblings, nieces, and nephews, this one is actually a parent goal, so let me go ahead and move that. Let's see here. Okay, in terms of the siblings, nieces, and nephews, even though I feel like I should have a lot more goals, I don't have, a lot, but inshallah, I'll be looking forward to improving that now that I know the different classifications. Established connection. This one is private, obviously. Didn't start yet, and I don't know if I'll be able to this year, but maybe it's something that I could focus on next year, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. This one's definitely private, was not able to do so because of the circumstances. But maybe I still have some time. It's, it might be late, but what was that saying? Better late than never. This might be one of those situations. This is definitely private. Didn't really get started yet overall, but hopefully sooner than later I'll be able to get started. In terms of aunts, uncles, and cousins, this one is a part of the grandparents, so let me go ahead and move that up here to where the parents are. The one that I just moved up right now, I was able to achieve partially, even though I need to improve on that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. This one is definitely, I think all of them are mainly private, so I'll let you guys know which ones I can, but I'll just let you know if I was able to achieve it right now. But this next goal under aunts, uncles, and cousins, I wasn't able to achieve it, at least directly. I did some indirect work on that. Um, this one, not quite there yet, but hopefully, maybe something, I'll be able to achieve some of it, if not more, in the next year. Um, this one, oh, this next one, I was not able to achieve it, even though I attempted to. This next one is private as well. I was not able to achieve it and didn't attempt it for years, sadly, but hopefully sooner or later I'll be able to achieve that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm just adding another one right now to aunts, uncles, and cousins. And I haven't attempted this one for a little while, so maybe it's just something that I could, probably move on to next year, focus on that a little more. But sooner or later, inshallah, we'll try to solve that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, or resolve that, I should say. So that's it with aunts, uncles, and cousins in terms of the family-in-law. This one was able to achieve it, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, and it is private. This next one is also private. It's getting better, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. This next one is also private, haven't started. The next one is also private, I haven't started that one as well. But inshallah, I'm looking forward to seeing what else could be done in terms of, putting certain situations in perspective, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that actually summarizes and concludes the family and relative goals, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Then moving on to the last but not least section, which is Ummah and World Goals. And the first general one is continue to build my community service and foundation organization, which is called Ridwanullah Foundation. That one, obviously, I haven't really started that yet. I've done a couple of work, just personally under that umbrella, but hopefully sooner or later we'll be able to do a lot of community service and foundation work, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I haven't been able to focus on that as much as I would love to, simply because of, capacity and capabilities not quite there yet. But I could definitely improve on that as I work to build the other areas of my life, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm failing miserably on that, so hopefully sooner or later I'll be able to improve on that. And, to be quite honest with you, haven't made it this far into the year, just completed 10 months. What I've noticed is some of the goals that I have are outdated. Some of them are not complete. Some of them just don't have that emotional juice anymore. And that's not the reason to say that it's not worth pursuing. But sometimes it might not be. So some of the goals that are probably set, I probably just got to chuck it away. But in any case, because I've been, achieving a lot of different goals in my life, it's almost a chaos, right? Achieving, when you're achieving and you're in the goal, it's a chaos, especially when you get out of it, it's like a mess. So I just need to kind of, centralize, organize, and clean a lot of different goals that I have, you know what I mean? Some of it, I feel like there's probably a lot of new goals that I have to add on to it. And that's why the New Year's goals and resolution is there, where I set it for the whole year, but throughout the year, things get updated and upgraded and downsized and just deleted. for the most part, simply because it's not needed anymore. But that's something that we would be able to move on from, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, just as an update, not only for myself but also for you guys, bi'idhnillah. Build a volunteer team for Ridwanullah Foundation. Obviously, because I haven't started the work, that's not quite needed yet. So that's more than likely, going to be pushed into next year, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, unless we're able to pull off some small community service project that would require some volunteers, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This one I'll just keep private for right now. Haven't really started. It relates to another one that I set for the family as well. So I've indirectly did a little bit of work, but not nearly what it needs to be. So we'll need to get that going, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This one's private. I'm not all the way there yet, but doing the best that I can. This next one is also private. Not all the way there yet, but doing the best that I can as well. But hopefully, as the time goes on, I'll have more capacity and capability to be able to push through a lot of these different elements, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So the first category is masjids and friends goals. So let's see. I feel like I need to get rid of the general goals that I thought were general, and just put it under one particular category, but we'll see how that works out, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see, under the masjid and friends, provide iftar during Ramadan at the local masjid. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, was able to successfully achieve that. Help with masjids, Ramadan management and security, etc. That one, everything was taken care of, so there was no need for extra body, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So that's pretty much taken care of. Help with Eid prayer, leadership, and event management. I was not here for this Eid because I was doing Umrah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So I'll see if there's something that's needed to be able to, that I can contribute for Eid al-Adha, which is coming up in about a month and a half, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see. This one is private. Didn't achieve it. I brought it up, but we'll see what we could do in the next year or so, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But I don't think that's going to be achieved this year at the very least, unless obviously we pull it off in a miraculous way almost. Help with masjid safety and security. And this kind of was prompted through the New Zealand terrorist attacks. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, was able to accomplish that, to whatever capacity that I had. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This next one is private. Wasn't able to, fully get started. It's based on relationships in nasiha. But wasn't able to, do it to the best of my ability, simply because I was so focused on a lot of the other goals. But sooner or later, I'm going to slowly but surely start focusing on that goal. I'm not sure if it's going to be this year, but I'm at least going to start, planting the seeds, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So we should be okay with that goal so far. Help our youth and children, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Just kind of, through speaking engagements, teaching, things like that, or, extracurricular activities that we can think about. But we'll see if that's, a possibility for us, bi'idhnillah. What's kind of prompted from here is a brother reached out to me. We know each other, don't really hang out much, but we were aware of each other, and he was talking to me about the situation of the youth, the Muslim youth here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And for me, I have deep passion for the youth and our children. Obviously simply because they are looking forward into a future, and they are our future in terms of leadership, and so many different aspects that our ummah and world needs. So, investing in them, putting time and supporting them is going to be very, very important for me. I haven't been able to do a lot because of my capacity and capability so far, but sooner or later I'll be able to figure something out there as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. There's the same brother that I was mentioning. I wanted to set up, we were supposed to set up a meeting together so we could talk about the issues, at least chat about it, and figure out some sort of solutions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This next goal, well, I wasn't able to meet with the brother yet, so I think I should be able to meet him in this year, which is 1440, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This one is a private goal for sure. I was able to achieve it successfully a long time ago, earlier in the year. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Just improve, have better connection and communication with my friends. I'm trying to do the best that I can to make sure that I call my friends and communicate and help as much as I possibly can to whatever capacity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me. So generally I'm still successful in that. Obviously there's a lot of room for improvement, but I'm fairly happy with the situation that I find myself in with my friends. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This one is private. I need to return something to a friend. So I need to get on that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, because a lot of time has kind of passed between. So the next category, neighbors and community goals. Get to know my neighbors better, especially the Muslim neighbors as well as the non-Muslims. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I've indirectly been doing it. I need to do it directly, introducing myself properly, even though it's been about 3 years or so since we lived here. But inshallah, within due time, everything will improve, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm not doing so well with that goal, but I'm looking forward to improve. Set up meetings, neighbors and community meetings where, we get to learn each other, we get to, communicate, figure out what kind of problems that we have and how we can help each other, become better together. So haven't done that yet as well, so I don't know if I could actually pull it off this year because I have so many other goals that I need to focus on, which will put me in position to be able to do certain things like that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I haven't been able to do that. Community and social work service. This is just, whenever you're in a situation where, there's community needs, it's important for us to step it up. And for me, I've been out of that scene for a long time, simply because of my capacity and capability was not quite there yet. So I'm looking forward to figuring out how I could put myself in a position to be able to help, the refugee, the immigrants, and anybody else who is in need of help within our neighbors and communities, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I haven't been successful at that simply because I've been focused on, my own finance and work, my deen and self, family and relatives, which is in essence working on the neighbors and community for the most part. But, to directly, go beyond that is what I'm talking about here, and I haven't been able to do that yet. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow me and you to do that and more, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's pretty much it on the neighbors and community. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more goals that I can think about. But this is generally what I had said in the beginning. I can't think of any new ones right now, but inshallah, maybe I can update that in the near future, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. City and state goals, not too many there. Explore meetings with leaders in our city and state. I've had opportunities to connect with the mayors, the governors, the politicians, the entrepreneurs, and within around Salt Lake City and the state of Utah as well. But I haven't been paying too much attention to that. There's a political group that has been kind of set up, within the Muslim community to have a voice within the political world. Was invited to that as well, but wasn't able to contribute as much as I wanted to or can. In terms of the country and the world, so in terms of the city and state, wasn't able to achieve, exploring leadership meetings with leadership. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what I could do in that capacity, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Help out the homeless. I haven't been able to do as much of that as I wanted to. I've always wanted to, continue on the Project T, which was, providing coffee and tea and pastries and da'wah to the homeless. We did that years ago, and I've always wanted to do it, but hopefully we'll be able to get something going in that area as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Help, this one I'll keep private for right now, but I wanted to be a contributing member of a particular organization that is set up for the welfare of the Muslims here in Utah. So hopefully we can move in that direction, bi-idhnillah. So that concludes the city and state. The country and world, I have a couple of goals on there. Continue to do work through Islamic nonprofit organizations. There's a couple that I've been working with, especially this year, and hopefully that continues. I haven't been able to focus on that as much as I wanted to, but within that same capacity, maybe we can join forces and see what else we can do in that capacity. So I'm looking forward to improving in that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Helping Yemen through the famine, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I don't know if they're quite out of the famine yet. I haven't heard a lot of news about it, but I'm pretty sure there's usually some lingering problems, if not if it ever even went away. I did the best that I can with the capacity that I had, so I'll give myself 50-50 on that, even though I would love to do more. This is just, the capacity that I have. So if you are aware of Yemen a little more than I am, or any other Islamic country and our ummah, please contribute and support to the best of your ability, as well as, the rest of the world, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Continue to show love and support to our New Zealand brothers and sisters. Obviously, because of the massacre that happened this year, the terrorist attack. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive those who have been shuhada, and those who and their families who were left behind, and all of us, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, who are mourning along with them, bi-idhnillah. So I was able to successfully complete that to the best of our abilities. I mean, being completely in a different part of the world, sending a lot of dua their way, a lot of well wishes, and whatever capacity that we were able to help out with. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I would say that was successful. Helping community service and foundation work in Somalia. This has been a big dream of mine. Obviously, anybody who's from a different country, that's living in a different country, or maybe even living in their country, they want to help out their country as best as they can. They want to contribute. And for me, I went back for the first time since I was born, and left there in 2016, which was about 3 years ago. And I saw the reality and the situation and the circumstances, from the regional hospital to the mental facilities, the orphanages, and just the educational reality, and and the safety and security, and the financial and work situation. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of help. So I'm looking forward to figuring out how I could do that. And some of the things are just basic necessities, to be quite honest with you. Some things that cost a couple of $100, maybe a couple of $1,000. that people are in dire need of. So we need to be able to explore those possibilities. For me personally, I've started a little bit, but really haven't been able to focus on it as much as I need and or want to. But hopefully this would be a reminder and an inspiration to somebody out there who has the capacity and the capability to be able to do so. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm doing okay. I could be doing a lot better in that goal. So we'll be moving forward with that. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. This one, I made a, so, whoa. All right. So this goal, I actually started last year, 1439. In 1440, I barely restarted it this month. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen in Shawwal. So I have a little bit of ways to go. So I think I'm going to be finishing up roughly around this time next year to complete this project. But it's an ongoing project. I restarted it, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I think it's going to have a great impact in my life. It's already feel it already. So hopefully I'll be able to do more of that and I'll keep it private. So alhamdulillah, I'm back on track with that and hopefully can finish it within due time, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Keep an eye out for other needs and wants of individuals and organizations within our ummah and world. Within our country, ummah and world. Just keep an eye out as best as we possibly can. So with that goal, I haven't been able to focus on that a lot, even though I was traveling overseas. I was able to kind of notice the realities that other people are living in. People are being oppressed, under a lot of stress, debt, and everything else that you could imagine. It's an ongoing battle. Obviously, we can only do the best that we can. At the very least, maybe informing others who have more capacity and capability. But it's just a matter of taking one step at a time and figuring things out as things go along, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's actually the last goal that I have of my monthly goals report. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hopefully, this was as helpful, as valuable, and as useful for you as it is and continues to be for me in my life. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. There are a lot of goals that I didn't even have. I couldn't even imagine being in a position to even setting that type of goal, let alone being on the road to actually achieving it. So setting goals and achieving goals has been an amazing tool in my life. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And that's why I'm designing the Ridwanullah University monthly membership program. Is to support you in achieving your goals and dreams and give you more details than I possibly can here and answer more specific questions and, talking on a weekly basis. Actually monthly basis on a bi-weekly schedule. Things like that has been an amazing journey. To be able to, value and put my life priority in this particular way has been a true blessing for me. It's been a real struggle up until this point. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed me to make some strides towards a positive life, a blissfully successful life, hopefully not only in this dunya but also in the akhirah, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And as I continue to push forward for my goals and dreams and building my online business and, doing a lot of amazing things with my life, I'll be able to, take care of a lot of, things that I've always wanted to do, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So hopefully, you could continue to stick with me, to take any sort of value that I could provide to you, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So before I don't know whether to tell you some of the most important lessons that I've learned last month now or after I summarize and conclude. But actually, yeah, let me just, before I tell you some of the most important lessons that I've learned this last month, I just want to say, my challenge to you is, to set and achieve your goals in life, in this dunya as well as the akhirah. You don't have to do it publicly like I am. This is probably the best way to do it as far as my opinion. But my opinion doesn't matter. It's what you like, what you're comfortable with, and what you could do. So, write down some goals. You might not think that you could achieve it. You might not think it's worth it. You might not think it's complete. But set the goals, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Set them, honestly. And I genuinely mean that. Because if I knew, taking my goals seriously would get me up to this point, I would have done it a lot sooner. I would have done it, alhamdulillah. But, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does is perfectly timed. So that's my challenge to you, is to set your goals for the next month. At the very least, if not for the whole year, if not for a whole lifetime, at the very, very least for the next month. And, if you're brave enough to report it in the comments below, put it there. If not, just overall commenting would be very, very helpful. If you've liked the monthly goals, Ridwanullah TV's monthly goals report, show your love and support to help us grow by pressing the like button. And if you're not a part of the Ridwanullah Maximizers family, press the subscribe button and join the Ridwanullah family. The main community, actually, to officially join the Ridwanullah family, you need to be on the email list, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And the best way to do that as of right now is send an email to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com and just say, put me on your mailing list. And then we'll add you on there, because that's the main method of communication amongst the other avenues of communication that we have. If you haven't pressed the subscribe button, please press the subscribe button and press the notification bell to be the first ones to get notified, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And if you know somebody that could benefit from these monthly goals reports, maybe they just need help with their goals, they need to start setting their goals, they need motivation, they need to finish their goals, whatever it may be. If you feel like this has been valuable to you, and you know at least one other person or a couple of other people that could benefit from this content that I'm putting my heart and soul into, share this with them. It'll help me, help you, help them, help us together, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that'll be very, very beneficial. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know, I've been trying to be as consistent as possible with my content, and a lot of people have been noticing that, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. But what's more important in that to me is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has noticed it way beyond anybody else. So that's the most important thing for me. But what was I trying to say with that point? Leave your comments. Leave your comments on the link below, on the section below, and just kind of communicate with me. Let me know what you guys think. This is going to be a long-term thing for me. It's been a hell of a ride, for lack of a better term, so far, and I look forward to what the future brings, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So, before I tell you the last thing, just kind of, review the sponsors, announcements, and updates. The default sponsors, Ridwanullah Organization. Jazakumullahu khair to Ridwanullah Organization for sponsoring this episode. And if you are an organization that would love to sponsor this as a means of advertising, send your request, budget, and detail to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. And I'm still working on building the Ridwanullah University, which is the online monthly membership program. Maybe there's a couple of things that'll come in front of it, but we'll see how that goes, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, because I'm still trying to figure out how I could, make sure that I'm still building my long-term goals as well as executing on my short-term goals, and, making sure that I'm producing results, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. What else? There's something else that I feel like I'm missing. Oh, just the whole traveling, alhamdulillah. I mean, that's not very, very important, but just something to keep in mind. I've been traveling a lot lately, and I hope to do more of that in the near future. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm setting I'm doing my online. I'm focused on building my online business. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. That was loud. I don't know if you guys heard that. Hopefully it's a firework since it's July 4th. Um, but yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you would love for me to speak at your next event, and you guys are looking for great speakers, send your I'll be able to help out with that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullah organization at gmail.com, and I'll be able to do the best that I can there. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So the most important lesson that I've learned from last month, or a couple of lessons that I've learned. Number one that really, really stands out is faith is important. I feel like I've been running on fumes with my faith. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I can improve with my faith, my iman and taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even though I came from the umrah, maybe that's the blessing, right? I don't feel like I am internally fulfilled as much as I need and want to be, even though it's a lot better than before in others, depending on the circumstance that they find themselves in. But I felt like taking my deen seriously is very, very important. A lot of amazing things came out of going to Umrah. So, prioritizing my faith and valuing my faith more than prioritizing it, valuing it, is of utmost importance that I've learned. That's one of the things. The second thing is your health and fitness is of utmost importance. A friend of mine that went to Hajj and Umrah multiple times, that recently came back from Umrah, was telling me he didn't know how bad his health was. And another friend of mine who ended up in the emergency after we came back from Umrah together is telling me the rest of the year of 2019, I used the Hijri calendar, which I say 1440, but 2019, he said, for the whole rest of the year, I'm going to focus and prioritize and value my health and fitness. And the same thing for me. When I came back, I became really sick and really haven't really fully recovered yet. And it's been almost, a couple of months to a week, simply because I had so many things going on with, traveling to my sister's wedding in Seattle, in the Seattle, Washington area, in the SeaTac area. And, having so many things go on, I'm barely getting back to my routine, even though I've been creating a lot of productivity. It's just been, valuing and prioritizing my health and fitness is going to be of utmost importance for me as well. Even though right now you guys can see cookies, for some reason I can't let go of them. Milk. Baby, I get it in, but I'm still trying to stay healthy, eating portion food. So focusing on my health was a huge lesson that I've learned. And the last thing that I want to let you guys know, maybe the last couple of things, relationships are important. I keep relearning this lesson to be very, very important. Relationships are key. Your finances are crucial too. In relation to that. So, improving your financial situation. I see a lot of people struggling with their finances, including myself. Even though I feel like me personally, I'm headed in a positive direction for the most part, even though right now it's not in the greatest situation that I could find myself. But knowing that is half the battle, right? A lot of people don't even know that. But that's what I'm working towards, is taking care of my finances, my money, my net worth and income, and everything else that you could imagine that I've already mentioned before. So those are the things that I want to say. The last thing that I wanted to say, well, I guess this could be one of the last ones, is motivation is critical. And I've been trying to crack the code on motivation, and I think I barely did. I'm not quite sure, but I believe I did. On how to, get unwavering motivation, and just, you need motivation to get you started, and, you need other elements to keep you going, but motivation has to be there for you to be able to just continue. And I've realized where demotivation comes from and where motivation comes from. And one of the things that I've realized is that you have to put time and your life in perspective, and the people who have both of those in perspective will always be motivated. The people who are focused on one or the other, they'll always be demotivated to whatever capacity there is. But That's another extremely important lesson that I've learned. So that's pretty much it. I'm very, very happy about the outcome of this monthly goals report, even though I had to chop it up. We're going to put it all together, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And it's just amazing prioritizing my finance and work and deen and self, because I feel like that's where the bulk of the goals are. And then if I can get that part of my life right, then the other half of my life, which is my family and relatives, ummah and world, that part will be very, very easy, as I could already sense it inside of me. It's not easy at all, especially as you are climbing to achieve all of your goals and dreams in this dunya, in life, in this dunya and in the akhirah, by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure that you stay on your deen, number one. Your health and fitness is very, very important, number two. Your relationships are critical, number three. Your finances are very, very important, number four. I can't remember the fifth one. Maybe you guys know. I'm just trying to remember that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and that concludes the monthly goals report. I hope, as I mentioned before, that it is as valuable for you as it is for me. It's been an ongoing battle. It took a long time to get here, and a lot of hard work, dedication. I was making this post yesterday, and I said, early mornings, late nights, and long days. Sacrifice. That's what we need to achieve our goals and dreams for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope you do that as well. Going back to it, it feels so good to even say it, because I know how truthful it is. Early mornings, late nights, long days, sacrifice for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah Maximizers, for tuning in to another episode of the Ridwanullah TV monthly goals reports. Monthly goals report. I'm your host and Ridwanullah in life maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, checking out by saying, never ever give up on completely maximizing your life in this dunya and in the akhirah, by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.